Hey, I'm here today with Jeff Lipschultz of A-List Solutions. Jeff is a third-party executive recruiter just like myself, only he specializes in like the IT area. See, I finally got that right?
Yeah, IT.
Okay, so what we were going to talk about today was a little bit about resume format. So why don't you tell me what's the A-List Solutions preferred resume format?
Well, for what I prefer personally, I won't speak for A-List Solutions.
Okay.
But what people have to realize is that first fourth of your resume is your key. It's just like a newspaper. If the headline isn't good, you're not going to read the article. So we always say that in that first fourth, you need to be having an executive summary of who you are and a few key accomplishments. The days of your objective are over. Okay, I know what your objective is. It's to find a job, and it's to find a job doing this. If you embed that in your summary by saying who you are, then I know what you're looking for. You're looking at a job that leverages your strengths. But also those key accomplishments, I'd put them right there below it. I would literally say, here's my summary, 3 or 4 sentences, then say accomplishments include, colon, next line, bullet, accomplishment 1, bullet, accomplishment 2, and 3, because I want to see what have you done. You know, it's great that this is who you are, but show me some results and talk in numbers, of course. You know, increase
numbers, dollars, and percentages,
that's
right?
That's right. Well,
every person needs to be quantifiable in the organization.
Exactly, and that could be but improve productivity. You know, reduce costs.
Increase service, increased percent of satisfied customers, increase
sales, return sales, all those things that lead to the bottom line. Profitability results. So I mean, you're going to want that right there in the beginning. You know, these days, if you've been out for a while, education can go at the back end. You know, and then you get right into those work experiences.
Now, do you do the reverse chronological
I start with most recent. Yeah,
that's what I like to.
Most recent job, of course, but some people now are doing the whole topical one.
And I want to reverse
Give
chronological.
me the jobs you're working on. Let's say you did something 10 years ago, and you're putting that in as in your summary, not the summary, but the sections. Where here's I've been doing this IT thing and whatever else, and it's like you look, you find out, well, that must have been
way back
5 jobs ago, and it's not recent anymore.
Because he's been busy doing dog sitting since then.
Yes, tell me what you're working on and what's most recent, and go through it like that. Certainly, you're going to keep some more bullets going of your accomplishments there.
Love bullets, no paragraphs.
Yeah, you know, I just read a paragraph resume the other day, and it was an IT director, and I gave him advice. I said, listen, those paragraphs are hard to read.
Nobody reads them.
Let's be honest, a lot of folks reading resumes have attention deficit syndrome, or at least they act like it sometimes. They look at your resume for 15 seconds, if you're lucky, and if they see all these paragraphs and they're trying to find what they're trying to find, and it's difficult, they might say, I'll get back to that one later, and they put it off to the side. If the next one's really awesome, they may never get to that one. So certainly you want to make it easy to read, a lot of white space. If you are in IT, I recommend having below that first fourth, before you get into the work experience, a list of your tool set. You know, because a lot of times that will help the recruiter or hiring manager along to say, okay, this person does have this technical experience, so I'm going to keep reading.
Right. I have to tell you, I disagree about the objective statement.
Really, you do?
I do.
Why?
Well, here's why. Because I get a lot of candidates that are looking to transition from something to something, and that transition is not apparent to me just looking at the resume.
But are you going to get, when a resume can't stand by itself, you don't just throw, I mean, yeah, if you're putting it on a job board, I suppose it does stand by itself. But if you're working with a recruiter, then I would expect that resume is an attachment to an email.
Yeah, but you know how these applicant tracking systems and all these other things are going. I mean, they need to make that resume stand by itself, because if they don't, I can tell you, I don't read cover letters. I don't.
But couldn't your summary, when you build that summary, you want the objective to be laced in there. In other words, if all your summary is going to be is I'm a plumber and I'm trying to become an auto mechanic, you're not going to get hired as an auto mechanic if you have nothing about being an auto mechanic in your resume or in your summary.
Absolutely.
So I mean, you're going to have to build into your summary something on the lines of have been studying to be an auto mechanic for many years, and then maybe you also mention I'm a plumber, which you know, here's how it ties in or something, or you take the common traits of those two jobs. These are very different jobs, but you know, if you're in manufacturing, you're going to a service industry, you know, you can take the common traits and blend them into that summary. If you really are gearing for a completely different job, then yeah, I agree. You need to say that up front in your objective.
Well, because sometimes I think people have sent me a resume that they're confused about who I am. I mean, because the resume, it just doesn't, it's nowhere anything near any of my stuff, right? And if I don't see an objective there, I just figure they made a mistake, I delete it. You know, they must have some mass mailing situation going on or something.
If you are going in a completely different direction, yeah, you'd
Whereas if I got a resume and the person had like a biology degree and they've been selling in B2B and they have an objective statement that says, look, I'm looking to transition from a B2B sales job to a medical sales role, see, then that's going to make sense to me, right? But if I don't see that up there at the top, I may not get down to that bottom piece, which was the education.
Yeah, if there's a disconnect, you're right. If you have to, but if you are a Java guy and you or gal and you're looking for a Java job, you don't have to tell me I am a Java expert looking for a Java job. Tell me about your Java experience and I'll know.
Right. And I think the one thing that we should do in summary here is just to say, if you're looking for a position and you're interacting with a specialty recruiter like Jeff or myself, you need to take our advice, okay, for that particular job. Because we are your representative. We could be your marketing representative. And so you need to respond to us and be flexible and be bendy. And I talk to people and they'll say, well, this recruiter said to do this and this other recruiter said to do that. What should I do? And my answer is, do either one of them have a job that they'll present you for? And if they do, you need to do exactly what they asked for because they know their client.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Because sometimes I have to coach someone on what to do to their resume because I know that if the client sees the resume and doesn't have the conversation that I've had, they're not going to understand why this person is the berries,
If there's a disconnect, it makes them wonder why you're presenting this person.
That's right.
And typically you have to be, we talk about flexible, you have to allow that recruiter at times, if they're going to take the time, I usually do, to massage your resume. Because obviously,
and be glad of it. It's just one more perspective,
it's a nice
right?
service, and yes, the beauty of having a recruiter in between the hiring manager and you is they know exactly what it is that the client is used to seeing and the things that are going to get their attention and the type of things that should be in your resume that maybe aren't, or even I've gone as far as to say the order in which your bullets are in. You know,
I have to.
You know, because reality is
that's why job seekers are just like, oh my gosh.
There's a lot of work, but if you know what you're doing, it's easy. But you know, if you have your most important bullet down
at the very bottom,
fifth or fourth on the list. Again, if they're jumping from job to job to job, they may not hit that last bullet. And
you want to have it representing you as soon as possible.
So the recruiter might know even how to switch the bullets around to get the best marketing message of you, brand of you across.
Perfect.
Yeah.